Thank you for tuning into my channel. Don't have time to watch the full episode? Alright, cool. Instagram's right there for you, and you can check out my YouTube shorts. Otherwise, you can give me a listen and follow on Spotify, whether you're in the bath, having a nice breakfast, or you're out on a car ride. Now stay tuned and enjoy the episode. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Issues Live Out Superstars with your best host. And boy, the way I am tired right now is not a joke. Like, I literally was working late last night, and I'm actually had to run here early to make sure that I'm actually we make this work. So yeah, honestly, I don't know how I did it, but you know what? Sometimes we gotta make life work. Consistency is actually becoming a big thing right now. Like, I've got so many guests happening. Thank you so much. But yeah, you know what? Let me stop waffling and dive into today's superstar guest, James. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm all good. How are you?
Yeah, no, I'm brilliant. Thank you for being on.
Thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, no worries. Like, honestly, like, it's actually good to have new faces. And bearing in mind, like, this is one of the very first few people now that I have not, like, not my friends. So
that's crazy. Yeah, because I met you at Nora's thing, right?
Yes, yeah.
And then you came up to me and then you said to me, "Oh, do you want to do an interview?" And I was like, "Do I want to do an interview?" And I was like, "Sure." And then we did that little interview at her show, right?
Yeah, literally.
And then I was like, "Okay," like. And then you were telling me about your podcast, and I was like, I'd love to come on your podcast.
Oh my God, no, literally. You know what, speaking of which, let's touch upon Nora's event quickly. Shout out to Nora, by the way.
We love Nora.
Yes, one icon. But how did you find the event? Because obviously I did interview it again, but I'll ask you for the second time.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you find it?
It was amazing. Like, it was just great listening to her album. Yeah, I love her music. I love her vibe. And yeah, I met her recently through a course that I was doing with a friend of mine called Fadila. She did like an online course for like up and coming artists.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, and then she was on there, and then she messaged me. She was like, "I think I know you," and I was like, "I think I might know you as well." And then we got chatting, and then
what a coincidence! So literally, like, you crossed paths before, and then obviously you saw each other again, and she texted you saying, "Oh, I saw you."
Yeah.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, honestly, it was crazy. And on a call as well, when you're very much focused, because I don't know what the way you have Zoom, but sometimes when I'm on Zoom, I sometimes have it with the person speaking, because I've got ADHD, so I can't focus on anything else but the person that's speaking. So I had it on that, and then I saw Nora quickly, and I was like, "Nora's here?" And then Nora reached out to me, and I was like, "That was Nora."
Oh my God.
Yes.
No, that is funny. You know what? For those that are wondering, because obviously I did attend Nora's one of her EP listening parties back in February for Valentine's Day.
The EP is out!
Give it a listen right now.
I went around interviewing some people just to like help her like promote her brand and like boost her up, and he was one of the people that I interviewed. So the fact that now I managed to get him on the podcast, like, give props.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No worries. So tell me a bit about yourself and what you do.
So I am an artist as well. So as I was saying, I do music. I'm a singer-songwriter. So I do like a lot of like R&B, that kind of a vibe, really.
R&B,
yeah.
You know? Oh, okay. I gotta hear something later.
I'll send you some demos.
Yes, please.
100%. And with that, I also do some vocal coaching as well. So I do that with just some of my friends. I do that with some kids. I also do, just a lot of things with that. I do it at my church. Yeah, love doing it. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. You know what? You're actually the sixth music artist to be on my podcast now.
That's crazy.
Honestly, like, it feels like at this point I might as well call it Music Live Out Superstar.
Ooh,
because it's like everyone's just like up and coming rappers, artists. Make it the last one for a while, please. Like, we need a break.
Well, I've got some non-artist people who would want to come on your platform.
Oh, please.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely gonna send them your way. I've got a comedian. Got so many people I can send your way.
We need some more comedians.
Yes. She'll make it funny. Yeah.
No, honestly. So, what kind of events do you do, and like what stood out?
Yeah, so I also do my own events. So I do like artist showcases. So basically, as I'm an artist, it's my way of giving back, as it were. So I love to get like just up and coming artists to basically like the space that I would have wanted starting up in the industry. I just want to give it back to them, essentially. So yeah, people who don't know how to like drop singles, or people who haven't necessarily got that experience because the platform isn't necessarily there.
Yeah.
Because I think there are a lot of platforms, but then I don't think there's like a platform where there's much representation from a diverse group of people. I think at a lot of events it can be like a lot of like rap and that kind of thing. And then for me, I wanted to like curate a space where like it can be like all cultures, all genres of music.
Yeah.
Everyone's welcome, like regardless. And yeah, that's the kind of space that I want to invite. One that's just fair, one that's inclusive, just one that's diverse.
No, that's fair enough, because I feel like sometimes it's actually important to have a different set of genres of music, like you said, instead of just being like one main focus. And then it's like one of them box park events that I've seen, like everybody comes and do the like performs their own like music, whether it's like rapping, singing, duo, harmony, like something like that. So it's kind of good that you're bringing in that space.
And here's the thing is that, and this is such a sound, and I'm so sorry, but like, especially with music, I feel like one thing which I've noticed recently in the last few years, I'm definitely seeing like a lot more cultures being represented, which is amazing. Like you have like a lot more like Afrobeats, you have a lot more like dancehall, you have a lot more Latino music, and for me, I love that, because for me, I never want to be in like a box where it's just like, okay, I'm listening to music from this country or like America. Because very often I think that years ago, I feel like that was very much the case. Like our music came from the UK and USA, and then we expected other people to listen to our music, and we didn't even listen to other people's music.
That is so true. No, that is so true. But no, actually, it's so good that they're being able to like diversify a lot more music artists in there, especially with Tyler and other artists that are just like being more like Caribbean, like African representation, like you said.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think another thing which I love to encourage in my space is just, I love giving people like strengths, if that makes sense. People who aren't necessarily represented. So for me, like something which I'm really big on is representing people who have disabilities and giving them a voice, because I think so often people with disabilities can be silenced.
That is so true.
And for me, I think if you're silencing their voice, then you're actually missing out on something which could be absolutely amazing. Like you could find your next favorite artist, but yet you're not giving them a chance to even speak, but just because they have disability, and in turn you're discriminating.
That is so true.
I think for me, that's one thing which I like to create with my spaces is everyone has a voice. Some people are like want to use it, but yet we're not giving them the chance to use it. Or some people don't know how to use it. And for me, I just want it to be people coming out of their space. Coming out of their shell, really. Yeah, 100%. And I understand that different platforms have different purposes. Like I understand that maybe I won't be performing with Beyonce yet. Notice how I said yet. Yet.
We all have
maybe one day I'm manifesting it.
Manifestation is key.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Well, so do you think then, like, obviously, your experience, do you think it's affected your experience? Because like you say, like disability is being silenced. Obviously you said you have ADHD, so did you ever like struggle having to like come up to do this like now?
I think for me, my answer now would be different to the answer I would have given 3 or 4 years ago, simply because I think probably years ago I probably would have said absolutely not. Like, hell no, I'm not doing this. But then I think for me, like, it just took like a lot of like soul searching and actually realizing like, what do I want to do? Because I was doing like a lot of like bar jobs and that kind of thing. And even though I still do that now, the hustle is very real. I think for me, it's so important, and I think probably for you as well, that we're doing something that we're genuinely passionate about. Your passion is connecting with people, and that's amazing, and chatting to people, and I love that. And you hold such a natural conversation with people, and that's what I love about you. And that's actually what drew me to this podcast in the first place.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, I appreciate that.
And for me, like, it was music. And it was kind of like, for me, like, I never knew where to go to kind of seek help, because whilst I could sing, I didn't necessarily know, because I think being part of the industry is so much more than just singing. It's about knowing how to market yourself, knowing like royalty splits, like so many different things which I didn't know, because I don't actually come from a musical background. Everyone in my family does sport. I'm the only like musical one in my family. I mean, my mum tried to get them to like play the guitar here and there, but they were all like no, and I was the only one to be like, yes, I want to do this. I'm gonna sing. And then she was like, okay, and then I got into lessons at like 9. What was I saying? What was your question again? I'm so sorry.
Oh no, my question was like, do you think your ADHD or like your disability affected?
I think for me, so yeah, I got into that, and then for me, like a few years ago, I went for a phase of And I think I would still get it now. What's it called when you don't feel like the best? Imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
I'll get a lot
okay.
of imposter syndrome, 100%. Like, I'll go into rooms which I would be invited into.
Yeah.
Like, people will be like, James, do you want to come to this room? And then I'll get into the room and I'll be like, what the fuck am I doing in this room? Like, respectfully, should I actually be in this room?
I hear it. Nah, I hear it. Because it's like the same with, not even just in music, but in any creative industry. Like, sometimes it's so hard. You feel like you're isolated in terms of the way you push yourself out there.
Yeah.
I'm also like a creative. Like, I am a 2-1 graduate graphic designer. I said it so many times now, but I did graphic design in uni. But I've always been creative because it went from me being an artist, like drawing, into wanting to become a game designer. And then by the time I finished college, I went into graphic design, and it was just like, okay, so I have this talent out there, but when am I going to be seen, kind of thing. So it's just a case of that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think the thing with graphics design, and I love graphic design because it definitely helps me because I do event flyers. And then I'm going to be honest, I will show you some flyers later, and please be completely honest with me.
Okay.
It's not professional, it's just done on Canva.
Listen, I'm not going to lie, a little secret, this is Canva. But I designed the logo myself, obviously.
Yeah,
like,
no, 100%.
I just printed out these on Canva just to, because there was no other website to print out cards.
Yeah, no, 100%. And Canva has really helped me because I love the templates.
Yeah.
And then I remember the other day I tried to make a flyer like just from scratch, and I was like, girl, no, I'm just gonna use what's there.
No, I hear it. Sometimes I'm just lazy when it comes to just like designing things. So I was just like, you know what, shortcut. Let me just slap everything on Canva and just make it.
Hope for the best, yeah.
Yeah, no, everyone does the same. Honestly, like, it's not even about just how you perform, like how you put things out there, but it's just coming from the heart.
Yeah.
At least like you're doing it with your heart.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think at the end of the day, it's kind of like you just got to do what you got to do, right? And at the end of the day, if it gets you forward, then so be it. At the end of the day, like that's all we want is we want to grow. Yeah. And we want to actually like deepen in our skill set, but then also just do what's best for us. And if the tools are there, why wouldn't we use them?
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I mean.
People are like, oh, you shouldn't do this because like you can do this, and then they give me like the much harder option. And I'm like, I could do that, but I don't want to do that.
No, yeah. No, we have our own ways of it. And you know what? It's like the neurodivergent like parts of us, we have our own way, our own system. So at the same time, it's like sometimes maybe doing it my way will help me be in my comfort, because even in the industry, like you're always going to be controlled by somebody higher up.
Exactly. Whether it be like a producer, whether it be your management, whether it be a label, you'll always be controlled by someone higher up. Yeah. And I think that's just something that you need to come to terms with.
But that's why like most people become like independent, like in the music and the artists, because like they don't like managers, they don't like having people having to like control the way that they want to utilize their talent, because you always get people like that.
See, I love that we're opening this kind of one because this is such an interesting conversation, because I think the thing about being part of a label is, yes, it does give you a structured framework, and yes, it does add a level of accountability. Yeah. And it's definitely a conversation which I've been toying with because I'm not signed yet. Maybe I will be. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. But I definitely think that there's like pros and cons to both. I think the thing about being part of a label is often labels can not necessarily, they can control what you put out, and because if you're not careful with what contracts you sign, very often you don't actually own the rights to your music, so actually the rights get handed over to the label, and then when you release your song, like basically labels can really fuck you over because they can basically give themselves a much higher loyalty split than you necessarily, and then the loyalty splits can be really fucking awful. Oh my God. Yeah, honestly, that's why I don't necessarily. I don't know if you've heard of the artist Ray.
Oh, Ray. Oh, yeah, of course. I went to see her, actually.
Yeah, I love Ray. She's amazing. So Ray is a good example of this because she used to be part of a record label, but they basically made her sign a contract. Basically, like she had to make a certain amount of albums. Yeah. Oh, no, not a certain amount of albums, but that she couldn't ever release an album. Yeah, she couldn't release an album. And basically, they were just giving her all these like dance features like, oh no no, don't like those kind of songs.
So that's how I know that song. Don't Act Like You Knew Me. Yeah, I love that song. Is that how that got produced then? From that?
Yeah, and so she was obviously making those singles, submitting them to the label, but then the label were only giving her features. They weren't actually giving her her own tracks. Yeah,
I noticed that actually, because even back in the day, like when she was introduced, when I'm looking back at it now, like half of her songs were featured, and I'm like, I didn't even know Ray was in that song. So like, I've only started to see her music like more independently, like in the past 5 years.
Yeah, and she's smashing it because ever since she has gone independent and broken away from the label, you can see what she's doing. I mean, my friend Maureen does her choreography and she's smashing it as well. Yeah, her team are amazing and I love her.
Go for it, love it.
And another example is Kesha.
Yes.
So there was a scandal involving her, and then basically she wanted to break away from the label, but because she signed a contract, she couldn't break away from the label until she released 8 studio albums.
What? Wow. And if you didn't release it, then you just wouldn't be able to leave.
Exactly. And
that's crazy.
Exactly. And there is a movement going on right now where a lot of artists, they're not just signing up to record labels, they're actually making their own record labels. And so in terms of like publishing and that kind of thing, just so that then they can have full creative control.
Yeah.
That's how they're kind of pushing out their own music. And then essentially they are independent, as it were, because they're obviously operating under themselves.
Yeah.
But then also it's still a label, so it's kind of a confusing one, if that makes sense.
No, I'm still trying to like understand it myself, but it sounds like to me that you have like a certain objective that you need to complete, and if you don't, then you're not gonna be able to like have your own like identity really, which is actually really sad, because why are they gonna like control the way that you do your things just because it makes them more money?
Exactly. And here's the thing, is that in this creative industry, it's very, very much like, it's very competitive. And very much it's like, as an artist, if you have a vision and then the label has a vision, there can be like a lot of like conflicting visions.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like, and very often, more often than not, labels just aren't willing to budge, which is a real shame actually, because especially when like an artist has like a particular image for their brand, and then the label can very much not only like convince you but also gaslight you into believing it's the right thing. They can manipulate you into believing it's the right thing. And it's just so fucked up.
That's the worst thing about that. It's so fucked up, because at the end of the day, again, like they're making you feel like you're not like worth enough, so they're always like they're trying to control the way you do things so it can make them better. Like I said,
exactly,
it's really bad,
and it's just a real shame because you never know like someone's true intentions, because you can't look in someone's mind. And at the end of the day, like, as long as you sign a contract, you can literally write anything in a contract. And as long as people signed it, then fuck, they're... It's just about their power and control. Like, as long as you follow what they're doing, then they don't care. Exactly.
Like, it's really sad. Like, emotions are not really thought about, and then that's what leads people to like doing all sorts of stuff and getting themselves into shit.
And here's the thing, is that a lot of artists nowadays just aren't ready to be going to labels, yet alone label meetings, even though like it's beneficial to go to, for certain things, to go to a label. Like I was saying earlier, there's definitely pros to being part of a label. I'm not gonna like totally shit on labels, but also I don't think that the pros necessarily outweigh the cons, but I think it's a balancing act really, and like figuring out what works best for you as an artist, because for some artists they really need that push, and maybe sonically their sound would work best with that label versus if they weren't with a label at all. Whereas for me, I'm still kind of trying to figure that out actually.
No, you're not, fair enough, and it's kind of good that you're doing that research, because sometimes if, again, like the pros and the cons of like being in a music label, I feel like if you've really done your research and you know what you're doing with yourself and how you're gonna like fulfill your goal into music, then maybe stay independent, because a lot of the people that I have spoken with lately, like in the music industry, have become independent. But again, if you're kind of confused and you're kind of stuck with where you want to be, then maybe being in a label is a way of coaching you, and it's always about experience.
100%. And I think the thing about it is being part of labels, I think it's also, finding people to chat to you about it is easy in some ways, because I mean, I know a couple of people who, I mean, if you have those contacts, and amazing, speak to them. But also, this is probably just some advice for some people who are listening right now who might want to speak to some artists from some labels to hear about their lived experiences. One thing to bear in mind is that there's a load of contracts that artists do need to sign before actually signing on. It's not just one contract fits all.
Yeah.
There's NDAs they have to sign.
Yeah.
And in terms of like the NDA that they have to sign, there's probably so many clauses within that NDA which say you can't talk about this, not talk about that. So actually the conversation that you're going to be having with like artists is going to be a very filtered conversation.
Very filtered.
And it's not actually going to be the hard truth. So
yeah,
like maybe there could be a clause that says, I mean, it's not going to say don't talk shit, but you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Imagine if there was a
like,
contract which says
just be
don't talk
honest.
shit.
Yeah, literally, just
Yeah.
be honest. Like, why are you being punished for being honest? And it's like they don't want you to be honest. It's like they're
Exactly.
scared for the truth to come out because sometimes people will
Like
just
people
bash
pleasers,
it
yeah.
on you.
Honestly. And like, yeah. So it's a very complicated thing, really. So quite often, I mean, obviously, like the closer rapport you have with someone, then the more that they're gonna tell you in that kind of a sense. So
No, for real.
like for me, like I've had artists who I've been in conversations with for hours and they've told me their real pains about being in the industry, and I've had some who I've had some very filtered conversation, and I've known that they've been filtered
Yeah.
just because of how they've been saying things. Like, you know, when you can like read their body language.
You know what?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, because I remember it's the same with Love Island.
Yeah.
Because a lot of Love Island contestants will be going through stuff and you can't talk about certain things on the show or outside of production. And then even I remember I went on to After Sun like last year and I I asked somebody a question in the audience. And the way she answered the question, it sounded scripted. And even then, the question I asked was scripted. It's not like I could actually ask the question myself. Like, the producer came over to me and asked me to make this question. We're going to give you a question. Can you ask this contestant? And I'm like, all right, cool. And then, so I feel like there was a lot more she wanted to say, but she couldn't because of television.
Yeah. And I think also given the NDAs that they sign and just the clauses that go with it, I think, because I mean, it's even like things like Big Brother and things like that.
Yes.
Because you often watch that kind of show and then they're locked off from reality for however many days.
Yeah.
And then you think to yourself, well, how are they not hearing, like, obviously, like, they air sometimes, like, oh, if, like, a natural disaster's happened or something like that, or, like a national security thing.
Yeah.
Or, like, COVID.
Yeah.
But you kind of think, like, are these people actually not finding out these things? Like,
No,
how must it be for these people when they actually leave these shows and they actually have to come back to reality? Because it's not like going on holiday where you're in another country where you have a phone.
No.
You were literally just cut off.
Literally, you're like, you spend 8 weeks without a phone, and then you're literally stuck with no family, no friends to talk to. And you're literally just like in like a shit black hole, and then you're just putting yourself in a situation where you're having arguments, and it takes an emotional effect, and you can't do nothing about it, which is actually so sad.
I mean, like, shows like Big Brother, I mean, obviously they're not scripted, but then like a lot of reality TV, like if you watch it, you can definitely see like the scenes have been manufactured.
Yeah.
In some kind of a way. There's definitely been some kind of producer influence.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. I actually looked up something because I dig into research, but I remember with Love Island and Big Brother actually, they tell you what to talk about. Sometimes you speak off topic. There has like a massive loud tannoy across the room telling you like, can you please discuss the script of the show?
Yeah, no, 100%. Or I don't know if you've ever watched Dance Moms.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Oh, I loved that show when I was young.
So I was watching like the show, an episode in season 5.
Yeah.
Like the previous episode, Chloe had left with Christy, and Abby was on the phone to I think it was Kieran Kalani.
Yeah.
And she said to them like, oh, like, can you jump on a flight like tomorrow and come through? And then she was like, yes. And then she was just there, and got me thinking. Realistically, if you ask a mum to be, because bearing in mind, I think she was in like Arizona somewhere, like, and then Pittsburgh on the on the East Coast.
Yeah.
If you know how far that is, that's like a 7-hour flight.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is dropping
Do you get
all their shit? And bearing in mind, Kira's a mum to other children.
Yeah.
Like, she has like job responsibilities.
This is what I mean. Like, how are you? I mean, the expectation is absolutely like wild and bizarre. Because how are you asking me from a different side of the world a 7-hour flight tomorrow?
Yeah.
At this point, you might as well give me a week's notice.
Exactly. So you can't convince me that that's not manufactured or scripted.
Nah, that's actually,
Because
yeah.
they probably like put that narrative on, but then probably not with a script, but then they probably said that that's the narrative that they want to go like kind of play with it.
Yeah. I feel like they just do it for the drama sometimes because like every reality show, every show, they want drama. So they will, even when you want to avoid drama, they will give you drama so they make the audience more hurt.
I'll have another example.
Go on.
Like when Kira, you know Jojo's mum?
Yes.
Like they were on the show, it looked like they were having an argument and Kira threw a water bottle at the mum. She actually threw it at a producer.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
This is what everything heavily filtered then.
Exactly. 100%.
That is crazy.
And it's just like you don't know what like the real side of things are, because even like the real side you're questioning it.
Yeah.
Because I remember like when another thing, I keep using Dance Mom's examples. I love this.
No, listen, Dance Mom show.
So I remember one time, Abby, you know, going back to Chloe actually.
Yeah.
When Chloe left, there was an episode before of Kathy when she said to Kathy like, "Oh, like you're washed up."
Yeah.
And then basically like they put it like on the show. They basically she said something else, but over the clips they used the exact same audio.
What the
And it was so
hell?
obvious because they turned the camera away from her face, and then it sounded exactly the same, like the same breath pattern.
That's crazy
That kind of thing.
work.
But actually, like on a podcast I was listening to afterwards, Christy was like, "Yeah, she told Chloe to fix her eye because she had like an eye condition."
Okay.
And obviously, like, I don't know, like, contractually what Abby would have signed or anything like that, but obviously I think they would have wanted to protect her image and say that kind of stuff.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's kind of understandable on that end, but this is what I mean, like, the fact that everything's so heavily edited out, like, you don't know what's happening, like, behind the camera.
Honestly, like, it's actually insane,
Yeah, and then it's like, again, imagine I'm on a show now, and then I'm getting all these heavily, like, edited things, and then I'm like, the audience doesn't believe this of me, and then I'm gonna have to wait to leave the show to come back in public, see my phone, and then find out, oh, people are saying this, and they're like, oh, you're giving me like the wrong perception because the editor's done this to me.
Well, you know what? I was watching a TikTok, and it was basically this comedy sketch.
Yeah.
I'm using so many examples today.
Goodness me. It's fine.
So, this guy walks up to this coffee shop, and then this woman was like, "Hold this."
Yeah.
And then like they took him inside, and then I think she said, "Oh, we've got like free stuff in here," and then basically he sat down.
Yeah.
She gave him the food, and then basically they were filming him, and then basically they went onto TikTok and basically said this homeless person was coming asking for food. We're so good because
that is, oh my god.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, no. Everything's just so heavily edited.
It's so manipulated. Yeah.
Yeah, no. This is why I don't want to go on reality TV.
Yeah.
You know how many times I've actually been asked to go on Love Island?
Yeah.
So many
that's
people
crazy,
have asked me, and I said, you know, even funny enough, the other day, my next door neighbor was like to me, have you never thought of applying to Love Island? And I'm like, listen, as much as I love that show, I do not want to be manipulated to the point that I'm being perceived in the wrong way.
And you also don't want some narrative to be pushed on you, and because you signed an NDA or a contract. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's that kind of thing, which, I mean, several times, and this is a big pet peeve of mine, because every time I say I'm a singer, everyone's like, you should go on X Factor, you should go on X Factor.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to go on X Factor. Like,
I mean, X Factor would suit you, though.
X Factor would suit me, but A, it's not on.
Yeah, it's not on.
And B, I'd rather go on The Voice.
Ooh, The Voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, you know, The Voice is more, you know what, why? Why would you want to go on The Voice more?
I haven't done proper research, but I think what I like about it is that it's very much focused on the ability. Obviously, like, when it comes to artistry, there's so much more to think about. There's like an image you have to get, because obviously, like, if you're branding yourself, then you obviously have to brand yourself.
Yeah.
Many different things to think about. But then the thing about that show is that it focuses on your ability. And I think that that's something which I really respect, because, like, with my platform, I like to give voices to the unrepresented. And then by just focusing on the vocal ability, rather than putting any, like, pretenses or conditions in, actually it kind of changes the overall perception.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah, because having said that, the judges won't have any biases, because literally, like, the first auditions, they're like, turn the other way, right?
Yeah.
And like, you have to turn around and see the artist, and then sometimes they're like, shocked because like, the voice doesn't align with the person.
That's so true. You know what? I feel like that actually works because it gets more like switch up, flow, and shock value.
Yeah, and also like I think often, I mean, they always say that like first impression matters, but then also I think that kind of a show is good because probably from the judges' perspective, when they turn around, they're not even called judges, they're called coaches. My bad, don't sue me, The Voice. Please. So when they turn around, they probably wouldn't have given that person, like many people, chances just based off of that first impression.
Yeah.
But the first thing they do is hear the voice, hear the actual thing which they're meant to be bringing, which is the music, and then from that they make their judgment.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's called The Voice for a reason.
Exactly.
Because it highlights the voice, not your face.
Yeah. And I think probably later on down the show, they probably focus on, because obviously to be a singer, like I said, you have to be a full package.
Yeah.
But then also, I think it's about bringing out the golden people. I think some of the most beautiful moments within music is when you find those diamonds in the rough.
Yeah.
And actually like going on that journey with people. And it's like making people know that they're worth the journey as well.
Yeah.
Because actually like sometimes, like it could be like a long journey because they could have really good talent, but like they might not be best at like marketing. But then all they need is just some support with that. And at the end of the day, like there's areas that we all need support in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's some areas that I don't know how to do. Like I'm really shit with social media and I'm trying to get better at that, and I need accountability with that.
Yeah, no, everybody has their own like way of having that performing on social media. Like social media is not for everyone, and not everyone's gonna be the best at social media. Even
Exactly.
with me right now, like I am big on social media, but I'm not perfect with social media. Like I still got practice, I've still got research, I still got people guiding me through things. So I think that's the most important thing at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, 100%. And this is one of the things which I said a whole bunch of like cons about record labels. I think one of the pros is that it gives you a lot of accountability in that sense.
It does.
Because you probably have a PR person working for you saying to you, yeah, that's a good statement to pick out, or that's not a good statement. But then also having said that with labels, you probably have people doing your socials for you, so you don't necessarily have that creative control. So it's kind of like a really nuanced thing where it's kind of like, I like it when when you get that guidance and then you're still free to post whatever you want to.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Let's go. So we're going to do some scenarios because
I'm excited.
Sometimes I'm going to give you some random scenarios. You got to tell me like the plan on how you would fix the problem.
Yeah.
Or just fix this, or just find a solution.
Yeah. I love this.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to say the first one is you wake up tomorrow and your phone is completely gone, no contacts, no apps, nothing. What's the first thing you do?
So I remember one time my phone wasn't charging, and I think that was a similar situation. I'll tell you how I dealt with that.
Okay.
Because my charging port was completely broken, and I had to get it fixed. So the first thing I did to communicate with people was to go on WhatsApp on my laptop, which I could do.
That would have seemed me actually.
So I probably would do my laptop. I'm definitely not one to send letters. A, you wouldn't be able to read my writing, and B, that's just long.
No, same. I actually had the same situation, like the charger port stopped working.
Yeah.
But then my WhatsApp, when I went on my laptop, it updated and it needed to like sync all the data from my phone before I was able to use it on my laptop.
Yeah.
So I went 2 weeks without my WhatsApp or any messaging, so nobody could get hold of me.
Yeah.
Which is so annoying.
Well, one thing I would do, just take a break.
Yeah.
You don't owe anyone anything.
No, you know.
Like those people trying to manipulate you for your time. Nah, give yourself that mental health break.
Good, because people always expect me to be available 24/7, and I'm
Exactly.
like, sorry. Sometimes
like,
give me a break.
Maybe it's God telling you to be like, put your phone down. You're all good. Yeah.
No, I can't remember the last time I've actually took an extended break of social media. That was like 3 years ago now, actually. And I took a 10-day like detox from social media, Instagram, Snapchat, everything. So I need to do that again.
You know what? I'm not on Snap. I mean, I used to be on Snapchat.
Yeah.
But I was only using it for like a streak with someone, and then I just deleted it because A, my storage was too much, and B, I can't connect with. I don't connect with Snapchat like I do like TikTok.
I mean, same. I mean, I only use Snapchat to just bullshit. Like, I just either like mess around, chat shit, or like just stay in contact with some people.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, it's mostly just for the contacts.
Yeah.
Right. So the next scenario is you're locked in a supermarket overnight. What's the first aisle you go to and why?
First aisle, aisle. I love that. Say it how it is.
Oh my god!
Honestly.
This is how you know I haven't read in a long time. So this is like my learning, my reading age.
So when they're like Sister Square, Woolwich. We're gonna go Woolwich later.
Okay, yeah. Take me with you.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh my god.
Back to the question.
Yeah. So what's the first hour you would go to, and why?
That's such a hard question. I think for me, I would probably go to International Isle.
To the where?
International Isle.
Why? Oh, international.
Because I would just see what they have. Because I mean, for me, like if they had that jollof there, I'd want a bit of jollof.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'd definitely go to a food aisle because one thing, like first things first, you're keeping me there all night. I need to survive and eat.
Yeah, no, 100%. I also need to be smelling good because I'm not.
Yeah,
leaving.
exactly. Like what? If it's toys or anything, like I can just like get that later. That's not my priority.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how long I'm there. If it's like above a certain amount of hours, I'm going to get alcohol. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, you know what? Fair, but if you're alone, I can't get drunk alone or like drink alone. Like I need company, like alcohol with company.
But then, is this with like the first situation where you don't have a phone, or would you have a phone?
Oh,
Because if you had a phone, you could call people and you could be like, "Look where I am. I'm locked in the supermarket," and then you'd be able to let people in, and then you'd be able to let. Well, I mean, if it's
yeah, but what are you saying now is not with your phone present?
I still drink.
Just drink, yeah.
Yeah,
Just drink.
for sure.
Yes, all right. So the next one is, you suddenly become famous overnight. What's the first thing that changes your life?
So just ask that again. I'm so
So
sorry.
the first one, no, the next one is, you suddenly become famous overnight. What's the first thing that changes in your life?
I don't know.
Neither
That's such a good question. I think that's such a difficult question because I don't think that you can necessarily change things. I mean, obviously some things you can, but then I think it's very nuanced, that kind of situation, because some people can basically just change everything. Like money can do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas some people just need to sit with the money and be like, shit, I've got this money.
Yeah.
And shit, I've got this status.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I think for me, I would look at ways I could actually use that voice that I have now, and kind of like how beneficial for me to use that voice, what causes I could fight for, that kind of thing, and just really put my stamp on things.
That's actually a good point. I think I would do the same thing. I think if I become famous, the first thing I want to do is boost my platform. Like actually now, everyone's paying attention to my platform. I'm going to utilize that to the fullest.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's great.
I mean, now I can actually influence people properly without having like trust in the fact that everyone's gonna ignore my posts.
Yeah.
Like, I know now that someone's always gonna be engaging, and it's gonna be like overwhelming engagement, which I kind of would like to experience.
Yeah. And here's the thing is that I have had, and sorry if it sounds like I'm boasting,
Go for it.
but like one of my clips has got nearly a million now.
I haven't even got like, I think the most highest view is like 100K.
But it wasn't on my platform. It was on my friend's platform.
What the hell? I would have been I mean, that's still sick, but
Yeah.
that's annoying because how comes you haven't got any followers from that? Did they shout you out at least?
I mean, they collaborated with me and I did get followers from it. So,
Okay, yeah, no, fair enough. Like,
Yeah.
that's actually... Okay, if that was the case, then
Yeah.
I'll be satisfied.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's in my post because that would be wrong. But then also, I'm a part of it. So,
Yeah, you're a part of the content, so at the end of the day, like...
my name's on it. It's on my page.
Okay, I'll look it up. I'll look
Thank
at it. Show me afterwards.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Okay, so the next one is, you've given a free round trip ticket anywhere in the world leaving tomorrow. Where do you go?
I would go to Jamaica
Really?
because practically, and I'm going to get political here,
Okay.
the UK's given fuck all to Jamaica.
They are.
and I'm really not happy about that. So if I was given a free one-way ticket, I would go out to Jamaica and actually like look at the ways in which practically I can help, because I think that finances can go so far, but actually like sending people out there, because I think that as a country we finance so much war, and like politically I disagree with that.
Nah, okay,
Whereas like a natural disaster which you legit cannot control,
fair enough. You know what, you'll be able to change people's lives one day.
Thank you.
Hopefully. Right, so the next one is, you can only eat one meal for the rest of your life. Which one are you choosing?
Curry goat.
Yes, please. I love it. Listen, me and curry goat are like best friends.
Honestly.
Especially the way my dad makes them, because he is, shout out to my dad, because he is the king of curry goat. I ain't tasted no other curry goat good as my dad's. Pepper, keep it cooking.
You should have bought some this time. I would have told
He hadn't cooked any, it's jerk chicken today.
Oh, fair enough. I would have taken that as well.
Yeah. But I curry goat for the win.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah, I love curry goat.
Yeah.
Okay. A bonus twist is,
Another little twist.
what's one scenario you hope never happens to you?
Is this stuff that's happened, or could it be just...
You decide.
That's such a good question. I think for me, this is such a random one. But I hope I never lose my laptop, because all my work's on my laptop, my whole life's on my laptop. I mean, losing your phone is fair enough.
Yeah. You
because
can restore.
Well, you can restore numbers. You can, but then
iCloud.
But then for me, like all my music's all on my laptop, like all my projects. And yes, I do have them backed up to a hard drive. But then preferably I'd like my laptop, because I mean, sometimes it's not always the most updated versions, and then if you've recorded a great version which you haven't set like to put on the hard drive,
Nah, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I mean, I mentioned it a couple episodes back, but I'm gonna say it again. I had 2 to 3 years of data at one point on my laptop. And I lost it all. Back at the time, I actually had a different YouTube channel outside of this, and I spent 6 months preparing. I basically had like so many videos ready, uploading and like weekly content, and I'd done a collab with a YouTuber, and I was ready to upload that. Everything went, and like it was. I posted it on my social platforms already, like promoting it, saying like it's coming out this week. It's not coming out ever. I even went to the Apple store to try and get it restored. I couldn't. And the worst thing about it as well was I actually called up this, like, I think they recommended me this backup flipping store where I can pay like $1.5 for all of it back. And
that sounds like a scam.
It was basically, but like it was I spent like a quarter of that for the, what was it, for the diagnostics, the whatever, that to like review everything, the data. And then it was like £250 just for that alone. I spent the 250, and then
that's insane.
And then they were just like, oh, we can't if you want to look at your files, we're gonna charge you 1.5. I said, all right, I am not. Thanks.
Like, run me back that money.
Yeah, it was non-refundable as well. So I just said, you know what, I'm not spending the 1.5. I just spent the 250 and I kept it there.
Exactly.
I just
and you didn't do anything for me for 250.
Yeah, no, like honestly, I just had to, at this point, it's like I was grieving.
Like, just accept your losses,
Just accept my loss.
Yeah, that's insane.
No, honestly. But you wanted to shout out your manager before we end this pod?
Yeah, no, 100%. So thank you so much for letting me come on this podcast.
Of course.
I just want to shout out my manager, General One Dan. He's great. He does his own showcases like IG called Loyalty City. His brand's called Loyalty City. So definitely check out his music. We've got a showcase coming up on April the 11th. And that is at Hounslow at the Rave Lounge, which is going to be exciting. And we're also going to be up in Leicester on the 15th and 16th of May, which is going to be exciting as well. And yeah, just a massive shout out to him because he's been a great manager to me and very supportive.
Nice. I'm loving that. Well,
Thank
I'm
you.
so glad that you're on. Thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no worries. It was actually amazing. And don't forget, everybody, to keep up with all of my social platforms. I am on Instagram under Issues Live Superstars Pod. You can also listen to me on Spotify and catch me on YouTube. So make sure you're subscribing. All the links will be down in the description.
Nice.
And without further ado, I am going to say see you later and peace out.